Okay, day 3. This is likely going to be some of y'all's absolute favorite day because chances are you are probably stuck between deciding whether you want to do traditional publishing or self-publishing. So today we're going to go through all of the process for both, pros and cons, and then your next steps to figure out which one is the best for you. So let's talk through the process of traditional publishing. So traditional publishers are anyone like Zondervan, Harvest, Baker Books, a big company who essentially takes on authors' ideas and then creates them into books. The traditional publishers usually will handle everything from formatting, editing, and some of marketing for the writers. I want you to kind of think of it a little bit like Shark Tank. So in Shark Tank, the investors are there sitting at the panel and someone comes in and they pitch an idea to the investors and they decide whether or not they like the idea and whether or not they want to invest in them. It's the exact same thing with traditional publishing. Generally, most of the time, what happens is a writer will pitch a proposal to a traditional publisher of a book idea that they have, as well as why they think that this book is going to really help people and how they have seen it in the marketplace and how this could be a profitable investment for the traditional publisher. Then the publisher will decide whether they agree or disagree and will either accept or reject the proposal. So that is traditional publishing. Self-publishing is going to be when you have an idea, you create it, it's all on you. You write the rough draft, you find the editors, you find the formatters, you decide when and how you want to publish this book and bring it to life on Amazon, or usually it's on Amazon. Amazon has what's called KDP, it's Kindle Direct Publishing, and that is where a majority of writers self-publish their books. Now, there's a lot of pros and a lot of cons for both of these. So let's talk first traditional publishing. With that type of publishing, you get a team. So you have, editors who are skilled and experienced to be able to help you really refine your message. You've got cover designers. You have more access to marketing connections to get you on podcasts, maybe even TV spots. You just have a lot more of those connections. Now, a con is that you have to pitch. You have to go through that process. And for a lot of writers, not all, but for a lot of writers, it can be a very long process of pitching because you will likely be rejected over and over again. That's usually not a sign that your idea is necessarily bad. Traditional publishers, though, are taking on your book. They are doing all of the work, a lot of the work. Of course, you are writing, but they're doing the work of the editing. They hire their editors and their formatters. You don't have to pay for any of that. They're taking on that cost. And they want to know whether or not this idea is going to be a good return on their investment. So they want to make sure that it has a good placement in the marketplace and has a good placement in their overall catalog. A lot of traditional publishers, want X number of Christian nonfiction living books. They want one talking on anxiety, one talking about spiritual warfare, or whatever it may be. So they have their own catalog and their own agenda, and they're looking to see who can fit into that to make it a profitable year for them. So you have to go through that process of pitching to a publisher. We'll talk a lot more tomorrow about pitching and proposals and what you need to get into place to make that happen. You also don't own the rights to your ideas. Now, traditional publishers are going to work with you. They want for you to succeed. They're not mean, but when push comes to shove, they ultimately own the rights. You don't. They also own the timeline. So they are going to make it happen when they want to make it happen. And usually the process is anywhere from 2 to 3 years from acceptance of your manuscript to actual publishing.